As humans, being honest with ourselves about our own flaws is incredibly difficult. Commonly, it's far easier to identify other people's flawed thinking than our own. Nevertheless, to be a successful investor requires you to commit to a sufficient degree of self-awareness. This is because your success as an investor will, to a large extent, be determined by the patterns of thinking that you engage in. Cognitive biases represent ways of perceiving the world that may not reflect reality. As an investor, it is important for you to be aware of how they can function to distort reality. Moreover, recognizing their existence can enable you to become wiser, allowing you to learn more about how you think and why you think in particular ways. There are numerous cognitive biases that affect investors. However, in this video, we'll be exploring information bias. Before we begin, let me remind you that I have created many other cognitive biases videos for you to learn from and develop as an investor. Okay, now on to information bias. Within the realm of investing, information bias refers to the tendency to evaluate and ultimately favor information even though it may be irrelevant from the perspective of the investor's needs. A key factor that will determine your success as an investor will be your ability to disregard irrelevant information. Ignoring irrelevant information will enable you to form a smoother path on your investment journey. So, let's take some time now to think about some of the information hazards that confront modern investors. It's important to remember that much of the investing information that you read online is designed to generate clicks, thereby resulting in additional revenue for the publisher of the content. In addition, the writers of this content are human, like you, and are therefore vulnerable to the same cognitive biases that you'll learn about within my playlist on cognitive biases. Fear-inducing articles, or what I call III articles, irrelevant investing information, are designed to cause a conflict between your prefrontal cortex and your reptilian brain. When you begin to read articles in the financial media, particularly those that are sensationalist in tone, the temptation is for the impulses of your reptilian brain to take over. However, you must ensure that you allow your prefrontal cortex to quash the impulses of your reptilian brain. In our everyday lives, we have become conditioned to immediate gratification. It's no different in the world of investing. Indeed, for the modern investor, there is a wealth of bite-sized information available at your fingertips. Daily stock price movements, 52-week highs, 52-week lows, there's seemingly no end to the information at your disposal. However, as you'll note from my video on action bias, very often the best course of action will be to do nothing like a true sloth investor. So, how can you avoid the dangers of information bias? Firstly, it's important that you obtain a clear grounding in the fundamental principles of investing. I highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel, as doing so will enable you to recognize what information is important and what is not. Whether it's through listening to my podcast, accessing my other cognitive biases videos, or viewing my other video content, the ability to determine what information is irrelevant will play a key role in shaping your success as an investor. Secondly, remember how I mentioned earlier that we've been conditioned to immediate gratification. Netflix, Amazon, Facebook, all of these companies have spoiled us by providing us with immediate gratification. However, when investing, you must ensure that you don't fall prey to the temptations of checking your portfolio on a daily basis. Tracking your portfolio movements on a daily basis demonstrates that you have become prone to information bias and is likely to have a negative effect on your mental health. Focus on the medium and long-term prospects of your investment portfolio. Okay, let's finish up. Remember earlier on how I mentioned the III, which stands for irrelevant investing information. Well, a sloth investor adds another I to III by simply ignoring irrelevant investing information. To keep up to date with the latest content from the sloth investor, whether this be my podcast or other video content, please remember to subscribe to this channel.